Everyone to the Red Arrows Racing League Season 2, Round 4, here in the streets of Azerbaijan. We're here at the Baku Grand Prix. We have a one-shot qualify for you tonight, and then we have a 13-lap sprint race, and then our feature race. So, packed action tonight at the track that saw Verstappen's tyres blow, Vettel throw in the dummy. It's full of incidents, full of drama, and I'm sure the Red Arrows League will be full of both tonight. Incidents, safety cars, and the usual drama we bring you every Monday night here in the Red Arrows Racing League. Joining me tonight in the commentary for his debut in the Red Arrows Racing League, I'd like to welcome Isaac. Welcome to the league.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to do some commentary in this league, and yeah, it's my debut, so I'm looking forward to it.
I think you picked the right track to join us in, Azerbaijan, full of drama, and it's looking like an extremely full grid, which is always good for online racing here in Formula 1 22. We're just waiting for everyone to join up, and then we'll ready up, and we will be on the way. Obviously, one-shot quality is very hard to follow on the stream, so we'll try and stay at the front of the grid and pick up any instance if any spins or front wings get taken out, as usual. But last time out, of course, Singapore, absolute masterclass from our championship leader, Jays, who played his wild card to perfection, sat in third place, waiting for the front two to pit late on. They pitted too late to make an impact, coming back on those soft tyres, and James came home to a massive haul of 50 points, which took him to the top of the championships. And still there, Aeon Blades, still there in second place with a very consistent season. And our championship winner from last season, made his return after winning the sprint and the feature at Bahrain. He had a nightmare in Singapore, and he is sat in third place along with Super Calgon, both on 42 points. So it is all to play for still early in the season. Still, wild cards are plenty to be played. We will reveal towards the end of this race if and who has played wild cards, just so no tactics are accused of anyone taking anyone out. So what are your thoughts, Isaac, on the Baku track?
Yeah, I think it's a really good one in real life. It's always got plenty of action. There's always a lot of incidents here, and that big long straight, plenty of potential for overtakes down there if you can stick close to the last sector, which particularly with the new cars is even easier, especially in real life. But hopefully we'll see some good racing tonight and lots of overtakes.
Yeah, I do like Baku because, again, it has the street circuit, the technical thing, but again, those long straights, it's not a street circuit where you just sat behind someone. It's extremely, with that toe in the DRS, and like you say, cars being able to follow, it makes for lots of nice overtaking. And obviously, castle section, probably one of the most technical section in the game on any tracks. So hopefully people will get through there nice and clean tonight. So we are hopefully starting very shortly, and we'll be underway for your one-shot quali, and then we will be all systems go on the sprint race. In between the sprint and the feature, we will try and get some interviews with some of the drivers. Depending how the sprint goes, some people might want to talk to us, some people might not. There may still be a tad upset with thing that's going on, because it has been known there's one or two incidents in this league. Penalties that are being done tonight. Hugs will have a 5 grid place penalty in the feature race after 2 incidents from last week, one in qualifying and then one in the race. He accumulated a double penalty of 5 places, so that will come into place in the feature race, not in the sprint race. So, trying to do 2 things at once soon. It's not really working that well, but there we go. So hopefully, like I say, we will be readying up very shortly. I'm just checking the chat now to see what we're waiting on. So Isaac, what's your experience on the game? Do you play the game a lot yourself, or?
I league race in another league. I'm also a commentator and an admin, well, I mean owner in that league. Um, yeah, I'm not particularly good at the game. My main focus is usually on commentary, which is what I'm best known for in the other league. But no, I do race a bit on the game. I haven't really had much experience around Baku on the new game. On the last game, I thought it was a very good track. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I always say those who can't race commentate, and that's why I'm sticking to the comms in the Monday Light League. After I had a bit of a moment around this track yesterday and another in the Indigo Sunday Night League. We have Torre here, who's my teammate in the Indigo League, and the Williams here, we're in the McLaren, and it should have been a double podium, but I only had 3 wheels, so that went quite south. And again, Baku is one of the most unforgiving tracks we have. So expect plenty of replaced front wings, I think it's safe to say. And again, it's one of those tracks, the more you push, trying to make up for mistakes, that's when mistakes happen again and again. But Torre was in good form yesterday, so expect a strong performance from him today. Obviously, Jay, the master of staying out of trouble and then coming through. We've got Ben, who has evolved into the Shadow Realm now in the Ferrari this season. Obviously, showing blistering pace in the races he's managed to keep it on track with. And Aeon, Mr. Consistent this season. He has really shown up in that Mercedes and is scored points in every race, I believe, so far. So, again, but we've seen the pace of Sagat throughout the league, but it's just putting that entire race together. He was leading for a long time in Singapore, left it too late to go into them softs, though. We've got some debuts tonight. Joshua Wilco making his debut there in the AlphaTauri. But I'm just in the Discord, seeing what they are doing to take their time with. We're waiting on Mr. Pinto and Super Calgon, I believe, and then we will be lights out. Calgon's joined, so we're just waiting on the tyre manager expert, Mr. Pinto. Can take softs 50 laps, he can take hards 10 laps. We don't know how he does it, but he manages to.
Sounds like my intermediate strategy around Austria on the other league that I'm in, when I went the entire race until the last lap without pitting and then I punctured halfway through. It was a disaster.
Austria, another unforgiving track.
Yes, after my Thursday league race there last week, I have to agree. I wasn't on commentary for that one, but I was watching. But I have to agree.
Lobby updated. Mr. Pinto is here, so it should be time to go racing. Sorry, it's a bit late, guys. But yeah, hopefully it'll be worth the wait. I've got Helix in, so now he's here tonight. I think we are ready to go with people ready and up. So again, one-shot quali. Everyone's out at the same time, so it is hard to follow. We'll put the standings on the left so you can see how who's in front and stuff, and we will be flicking between cars, trying to keep up with the action. But it's a lot harder on one-shot quality to see where the time and the drama is. So we'll do the best we can, and then it'll be straight into the sprint race. So holding to your seats, ladies and gentlemen. It will be extremely dramatic, this race, especially that first turn on the first lap. It's always one for the ages in Baku. So, sprint race, what are we thinking? Medium tyres for everyone? Or do you think someone will gamble and go on hards, hoping they'll come better at the end?
I mean, I think with the new updates, the wear is slightly worse than before, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of gambling and going different to try and, if you can get a couple places off the start, especially, you can make it work for you.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll have the incidents we had last week with the glitch lobbies in the formation laps. But what we will do, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we'll do the sprint and then we'll sit in the lobby because it will be a custom grid for the feature race because of penalties being applied, etc. So then we will try and get some drivers in and see what we can do. So one-shot quali. Just waiting for the last person to connect and then it will be underway. And we'll be finally racing in this round 4 of the Red Arrows Racing League Season 2. Right, we're underway. Here we go. So, of course, everyone on the softs in quali as we expect. And around the first corner, we already have QHRD going very wide. And we move up the rankings here. It's Super Calgon that seems to be leading towards the end of Sector 1, down the back straight. And do you want to see if you can spot anyone doing anything spectacular? Isaac here. We'll stick on
Yeah,
the
Aeon Blades got a good line to there.
Shoulder has moved up to P2 as well. Sees Calgon very close to the barriers as we finish section 1. It is Aeon Blades slightly ahead of Calgon at the minute. Just seeing who's got some surprising laps. Sagat down in 16th, that's surprising. QHRD at the back, we suspect they've had a bit of an incident. Butler's taken the lead now as we come through the castle. This can make or break laps. It can make or break front wings as well. And Calgon has jumped up again. Liam in P4, no, he's dropped down now. Jay there, Mr. Consistent at P7. Ben down in P12, that's surprising. Toro P10 after a really good race in the Indigo League. Again, that's surprising. But we'll see who gets the best exit here and who gambles. Because I think the S-bend in the straight is a lot more complicated to take this season. It's not necessarily flat out like it was last season here. This bit they're going through now. Calgon seems to have this in the bag as they come down the final straight to the checkered line. It seems to be Calgon ahead of Butler. A very good 140 there. 2/10 up from Butler. Gat has DNF'd at the back and QHRD obviously had an incident. So very mixed bag there in qualifying. But it is Calgon in the McLaren on pole who will start the sprint at the front. So quite a good gap throughout the field there. But a very good lap there from Calgon. So we'll see who goes with what tyres in the sprint race. And again, who's caught your eye there, Isaac? Being new to the league?
I mean, the top 3 seem to all perform, and there's a little bit of a gap between 3rd and 4th, about 3/10. So I think those 3 up top were really fast, and obviously there's a couple of mistakes further back. So maybe those drivers are looking to climb back through the field as, in the sprint.
I think Baku's one of them tracks that to finish first you have to finish applies more than most. Because again, you can't win the race on the first corner, but you can definitely lose it on that first corner around here. I think turn 2 can be a bit less hectic, but then down that massive run down to turn 3 just brings all the drama all over again. And we've seen a few people go straight on there at the end of that straight.
Very punishing track.
So just waiting for some connections. People will be doing their race strategies as we go for our formation lap on the sprint race. We have a mix of medium and soft. No one's gone on the hards. Quite surprising. Some people were thinking they could make the softs last the entire 13 laps, which for me is a big ask.
Yeah, the wear is quite high, especially on a long circuit. It's going to be a challenge for them, certainly.
What we may have with this is what we've had before. Because they've not done it as a sprint race, it may be mandatory pit stops. May be coming into question. That's why people are on the softs or the mediums. We've had this before because they've done the lobby as a social race rather than a sprint format weekend. That may come into question. I'm just trying to find that out now. Of course, we've got... It is mandatory pit stops. Just seeing that's just been put to me. So that does bring into question everyone. Medium to soft. Would you have gone medium to soft or soft to medium? Yeah.
I always like the medium to soft with the, being on the faster tyre at the end, but I know a lot of people certainly want to get the jump off the line on the soft, so it's understandable why the top two have gone for that.
Again, the chance of a safety car high here, so sometimes people do a couple of laps on the mediums and then maybe under a safety car jump onto the softs is always an option. So, Isaac, are you ready for the chaos that is Red Arrows Racing League Turn 1?
I'm hoping to see not too many incidents, maybe a couple, but we'll see.
And Calgon trying to spin it into his place. That seems to be the trick shot. And he's got himself disqualified, so those temperatures will drop. So we've got Butler and Calgon on the softs. And possibly coming under attack from Casper alongside him. And maybe Chrissy behind him on the softs because he is on the medium. But we will see. Just waiting for Sagat at the back to take his position. And then we will be racing round the streets of Baku. 13 laps. Our first of 2 races tonight. It's the sprint race. It's lights out. And away we go. Off the line there. Calgon seems to have got a bit of a slow start. Butler's leapt him already. Down the inside. Ant's got an amazing start. Ant round the outside. Butler on the inside. They make contact. Butler just manages to keep it in straight line though. Nearly lost it. There's absolute chaos down at the back there. I think it's a Williams that spun. It's QHRD and the Haas that spun. Huggs seems to have collected him. Gat's made up 2 positions. Pinto's down there as well. And Ben has got on at turn 2. We said a few cars would do that. Pinto seems to have collected in that as well. QHRD now 16th. So both Ferraris with an absolute nightmare of a start. They're round turn 3 quite clean though. There's a yellow flag there. Seems to be another Red Bull involved in there. Ben's out. Ben is out of the sprint race. Calgon's picked up a penalty for collision there. And we have the VSC. So everything neutralised. Hectic start, Isaac, but we've only lost 1 so far.
Yeah, Calgon lost quite a lot of positions there. It was quite a poor start. I think he was down to about 5th by turn 1, and it seems to just spiral down for him as he's dropped right down the order and picked up a penalty as well. I
think he may have got caught up in that incident with the Ferraris that seems to have stopped a lot of the field. Let's see who's made the start. So we see Ant left 2 places up to first. Chrissy and Shoulder being advantage, and Helix and Super Frank further down. Gats up 6 places from back, but you see Calgon is the big loser there as we are back racing now. We are back green, and yeah, Calgon dropped 13 places So maybe a change of strategy for him if he wants to try and recover and get some points in this race. But Ant leads down the final straight at the end. But Butler has a very good run on him here.
Butler tagged the wall coming through the fast S's, so if he hasn't got any damage.
Of course, the wing damage will affect that top speed, and it seems that Ant is pulling away again. Chrissy into the pits. Our first pit stop here. And from the first corner, first lap, it seems that the medium tyres are performing better than the soft tyres from the people that have leapt up positions.
Yeah, it is interesting, and of course the mediums are going to last a lot longer, and the wear is quite high on the softs. So that'll be interesting to see.
Oh, and has a moment out of turn 3 there. That's going to let Butler at the inside. They're going wheel to wheel, contact made. Wheel to wheel, Ant's tyres seem to be dropping off already. Whether he has some downforce or side pod damage there, he's all over the place, losing traction coming out of these corners. Seems to recover quite well now, but he had 2 corners in a row there where that back end twitched and he's lost first place from it.
Yeah, he has lost first place on it. He's going to have to manage his medium tyres, and then obviously be on the faster soft tyre at the end.
We have a yellow flag in sector 1, QHRD, and Josh seems to have had a moment there. QHRD, Josh having to go very late on the brakes to avoid the wall there, so QHRD going to have to run down here, probably going to gain a position, but back to the front, it's Butler that leads on those soft tyres now, showing great pace around Baku, but like I say, he has tagged the wall already, so maybe some potential damage. And showing that he has a mistake in him. Again, so easy to clip a wall around here, especially in the high speeds. Again, this S for me, when you've got a full tank, it's not flat out like it used to be. He has got great exit there. And he's slowly pulling away from Ant. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. That's a McLaren round. It's Calgon that's out. After that amazing start in qualifying. An absolute disaster of a sprint race. And Calgon is our second retiree, and another VSC neutralises the race again for the time being. I promise you drama, I promise you action, Isaac, on your debut. So far we've not failed to deliver.
No, you've not. There's a couple out already, but still quite a lot still going a bit back from.
So it's all about managing those tyres now for Butler. Go as far as you can on the softs, because obviously Ant will be quicker at the end of the race, you believe, on those softs. So he's got to try and build up a gap now to try and prevent that undercut. And again, those quicker tyres at the end. Let's see if we can see anything on the dash about the VSC ending. Nothing yet. Who do you think's in a good position at this stage of the race? We're 3 laps in on a 13 lap sprint. We've had 2 VSCs already, 2 DNFs.
I would say the medium runners are in a lot stronger position right now because the field's still quite bunched, and they're going to have to pit eventually, but we'll get back going again.
Yeah, we are back racing now. Josh didn't get under his delta in time, running down in 16th position now. He's got a penalty for that. But Butler, 6 tenths ahead of Aeon, 6 tenths ahead of Shoulder, who's had an amazing start to this race. How many positions has he? He's jumped 5 positions from where he started and currently sits in P3. But Butler seems to have a really good exit from that last bit there. We've had another, that's a Ferrari. That's Pinto that seems to have had a moment at the end of sector 2. He's going nice and slow now, but still running. Butler from Aeon, from Shoulder, from Casper, from Liam, and Pinto is out. I think he's lost it in that S, it would appear. So easily done. Let's have a look, see if his car is still there. That's full of hugs at the minute. It's a full safety car this time. Now this changes people's strategies. If you're a soft runner, do you switch to the mediums already?
I would. I think it's worth taking the stop under the safety car.
And if you're on the mediums, too early to switch to softs?
You're going to need a lot of management at the end, I would say. You probably still could get it done. If you put onto the softs now, you're going to have to get the jump at the start on the restart, because they will drop off at the end.
So it's a case of try and stick track position or try and manage your tyres. It's a gamble. Again, you're probably 2 laps away from it being the ideal time for a full safety car. But we'll see what the people do. I expect Butler, Shoulder and Casper to be coming in. It's whether Ant trusts himself. So by the time the safety car's in, he's probably going to have to do 6-7 laps on those softs. It's if he thinks they will last that long. But we'll see. I'd say the front 9 all very bunched together, very close together. Gat, has he had a moment there? No, his car's still going. But I still think this is anyone's race at the minute. No one's pulled away. No one's really got blistering pace compared to Ranier. And again, with the VSC and everything, it has been neutralised a lot. I don't think we've had a clean lap yet. So we will see. Butler in. Ant in. Shoulder in. Liam not in. He's staying out in the mediums. Helix as well, staying out in the mediums. In terms of tyre wear, I think it's the right choice, but I think it may cost them, like you say, because it is a free pit stop. Ant's gone onto the hards, not the soft. That's an interesting call. That's quite a sensible call, in my opinion, because, like you say, the softs, it would have been a real test to take him that long, but he's also used the safety car to get his pit stop out of the way. So he's still technically ahead of everyone that is pitted. So quite a genius or disaster move there. We will see, obviously, eventually, but I like that thinking there.
I do like that thinking. I think it's interesting. The issue he's going to have is the delta, for example, Jay-Z in 8th on the softs is going to be quite huge on the first couple of laps. So he's going to have to try and hold those behind him at the start, because at the end, again, his tyres are going to be much better.
But the only person behind him on the softs is Jay, and he is down in P8. He's the only one that switched from mediums to soft. So he's the only one trying to take the gamble to make the softs last these 7 or 8 laps that he will have to go on. But I like that thinking with Ant. We may get a word of Ant at the end of this race if he's willing to talk about that strategy. Again, I think it's the obvious choice that no one thinks of.
Yeah, I think it is, for sure. I think a lot of people don't feel like the hards are going to have enough pace, but the softs are really going to struggle to make it to the end, to be honest. So, the hards is definitely I'd say a reasonable call to make at this point in the race.
Super Frank's also gone onto the hards as well, so we may be giving him way too much credit. It may come up with Mark may have come up with a new strategy on his dashboard, and that was the thinking. But I think he's made a clever thought there, saying I'm going to pit along with everyone else because he's got track position, because everyone in front does have to pit. So it's just a case of how much slower those hards going to be compared to the mediums. Shoulder's got ahead of Butler in the pits as well, so I assume Butler had to change his front wing. So that's why Shoulder's now up to P5. We've still got a very mixed field here, and a lot more drama still to go, because the front 3 now, the only ones who still need to pit, but they've taken the gamble that they'll go a few more laps, then go onto them softs. So they'll be the quickest at the end, but will they leave themselves too much work to do? We saw Gat do this in Singapore, leave it too late for a pit stop. Has he made the same mistake again here?
They're not going to have a lot of laps to try and make it up when they're coming after the safety car regardless. It's not too long of a pit lane, but they're going to be a reasonable distance behind unless there's another safety car towards the end.
It's the joy of Baku. You never know when another safety car could be. And again, if there's another safety car, they can dive in, get on them softs, and they'll be fresh at the end of the race and bunched up to everyone. But again, the mediums, 7 laps on the mediums, they'll still be in their window. Hards, of course, probably take them 2 laps to get up to speed, but then they should come into their own. But we do expect the safety cars to come in this lap. So everyone trying to get the temperatures into their tyres. Again, it's a hard safety car restart here because there's such a long straight. When do you go? Because obviously the cars behind, you're going to have a toe off them. Or do you try and catch them off and go early, let the safety car back it right up and let the safety car go? And then just absolutely floor it when you think you've got the jump on someone. Safety car is in this lap. So Liam now slows it right down. And we will see what Liam, previous commentator, alongside me, but we're not biased here. But let's see what he can do. Hopefully no silly shenanigans here. People trying to get the jump, any front wings being tapped. We see everyone trying to get the temperature in the tyres. Liam's backed it right up here. Is he going to go off the back of this S? He's not gone yet. Now he goes. Helix with a great start on him there. Gat seems to have got a bit of a slow start. He's got Aeon right behind him here. Gat seems to be the one that's missed out here. Liam may have got this perfect. He's pulling away from Helix still. So I think we've got that down to turn one. They crossed the start-finish line. Aeon is right next to Gat. Decides not to do it there and then. Those hards going to take a bit of a while. Gat has a bit of a moment coming out of turn one there. And it seems that everyone's got through turn one nice and clean on the restart.
They also just survived a bit of contact between Paula and Tori in 11th and 12th, but everyone seems to have got through.
Yep, no one seems to make a... Chrissy's made a move up the inside of Jay there. So those soft tyres not working for Jay just yet. He's lost places, and we have a flag. That's QHRD that seems to have spun again. He's lost his front wing as well, so QHRD had a moment there. But Liam leads from Helix, who leads from Gat. And then Ant sitting there. Now, maybe played a bit of a clever thing here because he knows that everyone in front of him does have to pit. So he's just managing those tyres because he will have the freshest tyres coming in the race apart from those on the softs. But again, 6 laps, it's going to be difficult to make that ground up without a safety car, even when you're on them softs. But Liam putting in the laps here. Oh, touches the wall a little bit there. Gets away with it, just kissing the wall with his backside there. Maybe got a track limit warning there coming out of the corner. Going very wide. But it's Liam from Helix, from Gat, just looking down to see if anyone's got a run on anyone coming down here. Seems that Chris has got a run on Casper, and he's pulled alongside him here. We've got a flag in Sector 3. That's Josh, that is out. And Hugs is out as well. And Chrissy up the inside, sends Casper wide. Casper coming back onto the track. Jay hits him. Oh, disaster there for Casper coming back onto the track. Jay's lost his front wing. I'm sure that had been looked at by the stewards after the race because I think Casper left the track there and may have joined it unsafely coming back on there. And Jay took the gamble on the softs, but it's not paid off there. Played his wild card in Singapore to perfection, but the sprint not going to plan here now at the moment. And QHRD into the pits again. He's onto the softs now. But back at the front, Liam still leads. Shoulders got ahead of Aeon. That's a big change there in 4th and 5th because they are technically P1 and 2 at the minute with the front 3 having to pit soon. So whether Ant had a moment to give Shoulder the opportunity or whether it is just them hard tyres being slower than the mediums at present. Because he's got Butler closing into the back of him now.
Yeah, he's losing the gap to the cars in front, but hopefully he'll be able to stay close enough that he can mount a charge in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, I think we'll finally get DRS at the end of this lap. We've not had DRS enabled yet in this race. We've not had 2 clean laps so far. So DRS should be enabled when Liam crosses the line. And that should make the racing a bit more interesting as Gat's pulling into Helix here. He's got a great run on him. Is he going to decide to send it down turn 1? Has a look. Brakes a bit later. Helix going to go for the cutback. Gat blocks it off and Gat up into P2. And Shoulder just watching the back of this now. And here comes the DRS train.
Yeah, Helix come out close enough to make.
Yep, Helix gonna pull up alongside Gat here, but behind him, Shoulder and Aeon all having a look here. But Gat just manages to defend as the DRS train begins there from 3rd to 6th, I think it is. And Helix has a moment there. Shoulder's gone through on Helix. Helix had a moment coming out of the turn, so Shoulder's up into P3 now. And that's big for him because it means that Ant has got... No, Ant's not having a moment because Ant's got past Shoulder as well. Butler.
Yeah,
Helix has dropped. Yeah, Helix has dropped right down now. All the people that haven't pitted are through by him now. Disaster. I think Helix broke late going into turn 5 there and lost it and up through Castle. I think Helix may have to pit now. He does have to pit anyway. He lets Casper through with that damage. So the gamble staying out hasn't paid off for Helix. He's lost positions and he's going to lose further positions because he got his mandatory pit stop to go. As Liam and Gat are pulling ahead of Shoulder. But again, they do have to pit with 4 laps to go. And Butler up the inside of Chrissy. Butler making moves now. Not hanging around. He lost places in the pits. And he has shown great pace in this sprint race. And he's on the move again now on those fresh mediums. But Chrissy's going to come back at him with the DRS down this main straight. Great run on him by Chrissy there. He's got a much better toe. Butler defends the outside. Chrissy's going to be ahead of him before the corner here. Is he going to come back across him? He does. Blocks off. Chrissy hits the wing and collects Butler. Chrissy manages to keep it going. Butler's DNF'd. Chrissy went wide, clipped the wall, spun into Butler. Managed to correct his own car, but it sent Butler into a tailspin, into the wall. And that's a DNF for Butler. Very unlucky there because he was showing such great pace. No safety car as of yet. It's still just yellow flags in Sector 1. The car blocking the end of that pit lane there. But we are back racing. So, that changes things up. I suspected Helix coming to the pits. He's down in P10 now. So it's Liam from Gat. These two, if I were them, I wouldn't bother fighting here. Get to your pit stop, get it in, limit the damage, and then make your race at the end on those soft tyres. But Shoulder, technically leading this race, already going pit stop, and sitting in P4 at the minute. Oh, he ticks the wall as well. This is commentator's curse. Every time we go to someone, they seem to have a moment. Torres had a moment down in turn 2 there. He's just managed to get it back going. Now, Gat's got to run on Liam here now. Maybe time, do you think Liam with the DRS just pit, get out of the way? He's weaving a bit over here. I'd be questioning how much weaving. Liam is into the pits, releases Gat. Gat with the fastest lap of the race. Shoulder with the fastest lap behind him. And now it is really race on between Shoulder and Aeon. 3 laps to go. Where's Liam going to come out when he gets done? He's gone to the softs. Does have to change that front wing as well. So Liam is going to come out in P7. So not a massive disaster. And he's probably got 2 cars within 3 seconds of him. So he'll be getting his head down now and looking to make moves there. Jay sets the fastest lap. He's down in P8 though. So Gat now probably has to do a monster lap here. And I suspect he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. We've got the other Mercedes there. Polly has had an incident down at turn 3, which has let Liam through. Yellow flags there. He's lost his front wings. Apollo's going to have to come in. He's not pitted yet as well. So that's going to be his pit stop onto those soft tyres. We have to catch our breath here, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Gat's still got to come in, but the race, as I said, is on up front between Shoulder and Aeon.
Yeah, Shoulder 2 seconds ahead of Aeon. So he's dropped him. He's showing great pace at the minute. So Shoulder feeling quite confident, I suspect, at this minute with 3 laps to go. They're bringing this home in P1. We suspect Gat will pit in this lap. But with Liam's lap now, I suspect Liam will do the undercut on Gat here. He managed to miss Polly with that incident. And he's on the hunt on Super Frank on those hard tyres. and Gat is in. So that releases Shoulder into P1. And now it's a straight race between Shoulder and Aeon. And then Casper is going to come through into P3. But he's going to have a very hungry Gat behind him. Super Frank's just going to come out ahead of Gat. Is Liam going to get ahead of him here as well? Gat spun it coming out of the pits.
Yeah, she nearly collected Liam.
Disaster. A bit too eager on the power there by Gat, trying to stay ahead. And he's going to come under pressure from Jay as well, because he's going to have those cold, soft tyres now. And this has worked out to perfection for Liam, because he's closing quickly into the back of Frank. So P4 looking likely for Liam if he can get past him. Casper's just got to maintain his position here in P3. And then I think Ant settles for a P2 here, looking at where his championship rivals are.
Yeah, I think he's comfortably no threat from behind, and he's not really got enough time to catch the car in front, so he can comfortably settle for a P2.
Yeah, and we still have the feature race to come, of course, ladies and gentlemen, as Polly has retired as well. Not sure where that was. Torre sets the fastest lap, but he is down in P11 at the moment. Of course, any wildcards that are played tonight, the points aren't doubled from the sprint. It is just the feature race. And we'll reveal at the end of the feature race if anyone has actually played it tonight. So Shoulder leads as he coming down to start his final lap. 2 seconds ahead of Aeon, who's got a nice comfy gap to Casper in P3. Liam on the back of Super Frank on them fast, fresh softs. Frank on the old hards now. Liam surely going to get the job done before turn 1 here. Frank goes defensive on the inside. He's going to send Liam around the outside, but I think with that extra pace, it's not going to matter. He's ahead of him before the corner. And those softs are so much quicker than the hards at this stage of the race. Liam up into P4. Think he's got too much to do to catch Casper in front of him. But we know Liam will never give up. Helix got a run on Chrissy here. We'll just stick with this. It's the only race on track at the minute, it appears. Because he's going to have the DRS down this back straight. And Chrissy's not got the DRS from Jay. So Helix going to close into Chrissy here. Is he going to summon at the inside? He's not. He's close right up to the back of him, though. The racing isn't done just yet for those final few points.
The gap is coming down at the top, but it's just a little bit too late.
Yeah, I think Shoulders easing off this last lap. Although if Ant can get into the DRS zone here, which I don't think he's going to have enough. Aeon's still got a bit of battery left. Shoulders got a bit of battery left, and Ant's completely took his out. I'm just seeing here because Jay has collected both of these. So Chrissy's closed up to the back of Jay now. Nearly touching. He's going to send it. Surely not there. That's not the corner to send it. But Jay goes a bit wide. All three of them get good exits, though. It's going to be a three-way tow down this final straight here. Oh, no. Chrissy's lost it. Did he clip the back end of Jay there, or was he just a bit too eager on the power, trying to get a better exit from him? He's managed to get it back on track somehow, but Jay from that is going to pick up the P7. Shoulders got the win here. Aeon second, Casper third. Liam recovers to fourth place. Super Frank stays fifth. Gat gets respectable sixth. Jay comes across in P7. Helix doesn't get the tow he needed there for P8. And Chrissy's going to limp across in P9 there. And wow, drama galore. This is going to be an interesting feature race because, of course, those DNFers don't get the benefit of the reverse grid, but the rest do. And Torre rounds up the field there in P11. Wow. And that's only half the action done tonight.
Yeah, from the start until the end, there was a bit of drama.
They got a good recovery there, starting at the back of the grid. He gets the driver of the day. So, Isaac, I'll let you do the honours. Who do you want to interview while we wait for this custom grid to be formed?
I think it'd be good to, I mean, you obviously interview the race winner, but I think Aeon would be good to interview to ask about it. Wasn't he the one that went onto the hard tyres, or was it not? I can't remember. Was it Aeon? Who was on a pit on? He
He's
was.
on it. Yep, he's one who went to the hard tyres.
You know, I want to ask about that strategy call and what was going through his head. He went with the softs or the hards, what he thought was the better choice.
I'm just looking at the Discord. Plenty of incidents, I think, will be reported after the sprint race there. I think as stewards will be very busy looking at incidents tomorrow. So let's just... So let's see who we can get in here. We'll get Ant in while we try and get Shoulder in, and we can ask him about those strategy calls. Of course, Hugs DNF there, and just have to have that 5 grid penalty as well. Disaster for our reigning champion. He sent himself into the Shadow Realm with that DNF there. Ben Smith redone has the Shadow Realm now. And here is Aeon. Welcome to the post-race. Well, we call it a race. It might have been an episode of Love Island with all the drama we saw there and all the handbags seems to have come out. How was that race for you?
Yeah, it seemed good. Got a good start. Had a bit of contact with Helix, but his car was... There's definitely a bit of connection issue going on. Rubber banding backwards and forwards. So I took my usual braking point, and next thing I had a Alpha Tauri in my front end, which was annoying, unfortunate, but it wasn't intentional, that's for sure.
I've said I think we'll be very busy in the stewards room tomorrow when all the incidents have been logged. Isaac, do you want to ask him about the strategy that you caught?
Yeah, no, we thought you put onto the hard tyres. I just wanted to ask about going to the hards, whether you thought they were the better option over the softs. Because obviously you started on the mediums.
I think it was just pit stop time. I think going on those mediums a bit longer and trying to stretch it to the end, especially with the softs not lasting too long around Azerbaijan, I thought it was the safer option. If there was another safety car, I mean there was quite a lot of safety cars anyway. I could have always nipped in for the softs then and made a push towards the end.
Was it a strategy from the team, or was it one you picked yourself?
Just myself. Yeah. Don't hear much from the other teammates, so. But it's all good. All good.
No, it was a strategy. We called it out, and we thought it was the right call to do. So, like you say, you taking the strategy of pitting under the safety car was the right one to do. Looking at where Gat and Liam finished with them staying out, but yeah, again, probably a bit too long for them softs.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're only really getting a good, decent, maybe 7 or 8 laps in softs on here, depending on what tyre pressures you're running. But after that, you just start losing grip, and it's not the place to start losing grip through the castle section. So
yeah, how are you feeling about the feature race then?
Looking forward to it. I suppose I've always said you either start at the front or start at the back here. It's not good starting in the middle. So being at the back, just see what happens into turn 1, pick your way through it, and go from there really.
So we're looking possibly to just get ahead of Jay and claw them points back from his wildcard victory?
It would be good, yeah, definitely. Just stay in contention and use my wild card at some point, see what happens.
Absolutely. Cool. We will let you get back for the feature race then. Thank you for joining
Nice
us.
one. Thank you very much.
If Shoulder is in that chat with him, will you tell him to join us, please?
He's not, unfortunately.
He's not. Okay, not a problem. Cool, thank you. Right, who else should we try and get in? Isaac?
Maybe we could get Hugs in.
We can get Hugs in if you would like. He may not leave though, that's the problem with Hugs. We'll try it anyway. Where are we? Where is Hugs gone? There he is. We'll see what disaster happened to him this time. Hugs, welcome.
Hello.
What happened?
Bit too fast into the corner, and yeah, usual hug special. I've been doing it a while.
No contact, did it all on your own?
Yeah, it was full on driver error. Nothing else.
Oh dear. So, recovery race coming up in the feature?
I hope so. See for that. Or just minimal effort and let everyone else DNF, hopefully.
Well, again, it's one of those tracks that if you finish, you're more often than not in the points by default.
Yeah, just got to see what everyone else does, really.
So, where did you lose it in the end? Was it down the final straight?
No, it was New York Straight heading on to. I can't remember which turn it is. You know how you got that, like, pretty much near enough a straight from Castle section to that sharp right? Well, sharp left, sorry. It was pretty much that sharp left. I went.
Okay, down the back straight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy. Did you spin it into the second wall or clip the outside wall?
It was the wall straight on. So as you turn in on that sharp left, I tried to go around it and it just went straight into the wall.
Oh, easily done there, unfortunately. But hopefully get the sprint out of the way and you'll do a lot better in the feature race.
Hopefully.
It can't be worse, put it that way.
Yeah, it could be.
And of course, if it's early on, then feel free to join us there.
Yeah,
Isaac, have you got any questions?
No, I'm just hoping you have a better one in the feature, mate.
Yeah. I'll probably do a hug special and do something in the feature race. I'll probably be in here soon.
Well, just keep it clean through turn one. Watch you. I'd say you're inside, but also you're outside, and you're behind, and you're front. And
Watch
hopefully.
everywhere, really.
But yeah, fingers crossed. And like I say, you're welcome back here. If it all goes, pardon my French, tits up.
Yeah, I probably will do. It's me.
All right, buddy. Good luck in the feature, and we'll speak to you soon.
See you soon.
So I think the common theme is people struggling to stay on track and worried about everyone else. I think, Isaac's fair to say.
I think that's the kind of thing you get with this kind of street circuit, especially apart from the back straight, it's really tight. So yeah, I think it's all about avoiding other people.
Yeah. So we've had a few unlucky incidents there. I think Butler was really unlucky. I think that will be an incident reported, someone re-entering unsafely. And that's always the one, isn't it? If someone does go off and then their eagerness to try and get back on.
Yep. Just a clip on the outside wall, I think, and then smashed across the track back into Butler. It was very unlucky.
Yeah. So we are just waiting for the grid to be formed, and then we will have our 26 lap race. I do love people in the Discord hinting at rain with it being a random.
if it is wet, you might get even less finishes than if it's dry.
Yeah, it adds another dimension to it. Although, to be fair, it's one of the tracks I don't mind racing in the wet. Of course, lap one's a disaster. But once you actually get clean air, it's not, because you're so cautious around this, and you're even more cautious around the wet, it's actually not a bad one to be in the wet. But I can imagine the disaster of the first race, the first lap.
You only go to there's no castle section pile up on the first lap.
Yeah. We've got people saying, can we squeeze 5 into turn 1? Let's try it. Don't advise that. So who's caught your eye in terms of pace? Forget like who finished and who didn't. Who do you think's got the pace to do well in this feature race?
I think it's those really climbing back to the hill. I think Super Calgon qualified quite well, and yeah, there was a bit of a DNF near the start, but I think he can definitely climb through the field. But we'll see what he can do, and then obviously you got the front runners, the ones who finished up front as well.
Yeah, Calgon showed great pace in that qualifying, but again, I think it'd be interesting to see what his start actually was, wasn't it? Because it seems he got caught up in an incident, and then it just went from bad to worse, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like faced by turn 1, and then cost a couple more places maybe on the exit, and all of a sudden he was in an incident and pretty much put a party and then retired not long after.
Right, it is race time. People fearing the rain here. It's looking quite clear on the loading screen. Whether that actually means anything, I'm not sure. I don't think it does. Here we go. So we're just waiting for Torre's connection to kick in, and then we'll be on the grid ready for the formation lap. So normally we flip the grid here, Isaac, but the DNFs don't get the benefit. So the DNFs start where they finished, and the rest of the grid is flipped. So I think that means Torre should be pole. It is raining. Oh, wow. They've called it in the Discord. This makes it interesting.
Will there be a weather change? That's the thing. My mate wants to do it around here in the league, and I think it was 8 pit stops and still won. I don't want to know how he did that.
Obviously, it's going to change setups. It's going to change strategies. The next question, is this intermediates or full wets? We will soon find out. Absolutely unbelievable scenes here in Baku. After a completely dry sprint, we have a completely wet race. Let's see. Tyres are all on intermediates.
Yeah,
and it is Torre. It is Torre leading at the front from QHRD. Chrissy in third. Helix in fourth. Jane fifth. Gats down in sixth. And of course, Shoulder down in P11. And then all the DNFs behind him. So Ben, our retaining champion, will start at the back from this. And Calgon, like you said, had great pace, but he will be down in 17th at the start here. Maybe that's not too bad. Slow off the grid. Let all the drama unfold in front of you. And then pick up the pieces. Like I say, it's a long, long old race, 26 laps in the wet. And you can lose it so easily. You can lose the race in the first corner. So maybe
just like back off if you're in the back few on the grid and just watch the chaos unfold on the first lap.
Yeah, like Ant said in our interview though, he said you don't want to be in the middle. He's slap banging P10 in the middle here for this start. So thoughts are with him, and let's hope everyone manages to get through safely. It's going to be a very interesting first lap though. Feel free to jump in when you spot an incident, Isaac, because it is going to be absolute chaos. It's going to be impossible to keep up with all the action. and I tend to get a bit loud and excited when I see someone crash, so feel free to cut me off and shut me up.
Will do.
How are you finding Red Arrows so far?
No, I thought it was good. I like the format and then the wild card. I think that's a brilliant idea. And no, I thought the racing in the first the sprint was okay. They were quite bunched for quite a while at the front. I think the VSCs did help with that. So we'll see as Anthony loses it on the bend there on the formation lap.
Interesting here, just looking down the field, everyone has underfueled. Everybody expecting safety cars, and they're taking advantage of that with the underfuels.
Yeah, it's on the wet with safety car potential.
Yeah, Shoulder just backing up the field quite a lot here. He's put his foot down a bit now. So Torres going to be sat on the start for quite a while at the minute. Again, disaster for the Ferraris. Pinto and Ben in 16th and 18th. But Torres showed great pace in Indigo League round Baku yesterday. And let's see what he can do in this one. Ben's lost it around the final corner, so he's reset to the pit. No damage on the formation lap, luckily for them. Ant's facing the wrong way. No, sorry, Casper's facing the wrong way. A few disqualified on the grid, so they've missed their parking spot. But as we just come to the back of the grid now, Calgon's the last to take up his position, and then we will be racing for our 26th lap feature race. Here we go. Lights out and away we go, and off the line it's very slippy, very tedious. Torre nearly loses it there. Chrissy's up the inside of him though, into turn one. Oh, we've lost. I think it's Jay that's got a touch there. Helix is facing the wrong way, and disaster. This McLaren's hitting him. Helix is up in the air. Helix absolutely getting battered. He's out the race. But he's not just out the race, he's out the race and has been absolutely battered, and the safety car is already out. Wow.
Mixed martial arts watching that, he was catapulted.
I have never seen that in an F1 game. His car was in the air, you can see that front right tyre. There goes the safety car, that front right tyre. Wow. I'm not sure who clipped him on the inside, but then he just kept collecting cars after cars. So we'll see who's got damage here, because there was a lot. I think Frank will have damage, because I think he massively went into Helix. There was definitely a McLaren involved there.
I think he was facing the wrong way on the exit on the outside and trying to get someone on the inside and just passed into him.
Yeah, I think he got spun, and then, it was just absolute disaster. So let's see here who actually had a decent start. Chrissy's jumped from third into first, and obviously Torre and QHRD dropping places from that. No one's had a massive gain. Josh has jumped 3 places, Shoulders jumped 2. He's got ahead of Ant, which is interesting because obviously they were racing in the sprint race together. Ben and Pinto both making positions up for the Ferraris there, both got in front of Calgon, and obviously Helix, our first DNF. And wow. Oh, disaster there. Was that Pinto? Pinto's lost his front wing there. Front wing goes flying off with Pinto. Even under safety car, we seem to have drama in this league. I just saw a front wing go flying there, and Pinto limping round now, so he'll have to pit already. Don't think he can make Inter's last 25 laps, so absolute disaster. But obviously, of course, he'll have time to catch up to the back of the field. But extra drama he didn't really need there. So first in is Gat into the pit. So guessing Gat picked up some damage in that first corner. Looking here, it's a front wing change for Gat. And Pinto obviously coming in. Seems the only ones that came in out of that massive melee. Hugs is in as well.
Yeah, with a hug special, no doubt, on the first lap.
Be very interesting to see who actually was in that incident with Helix then? Because only Gat and Pinto have pitted. That's interesting. I expected a lot more people to be pitting there.
Yeah, I did. I thought the McLaren would definitely be, and he definitely made a lot of
I
contact.
definitely
with
saw a
Phil.
McLaren underneath Helix's car at one point. Again, I think the stewards, it's a turn one incident, but when it's something like that, I think we will have to have a look at that after the race. Because I've never seen so many cars hit one car. So, are the back runners going to catch up this lap? I don't think so. I think the safety car will be out for one more lap. Pinto and Hugs capture up the best. So Chrissy leads at the minute from Torre and QHRD. And then our championship leader, Jay's in P4 at the minute. Just trying to find out of one of the drivers, see what the forecast here is with this rain. It looks quite set at the minute. So whether we're going to have a full wet race the entire way through. Whether those inters do have to switch to full wets at some point possibly. Or whether we do have a potentially dry race towards the end, which will make tyre selection obviously a lot more interesting. So expect the safety car will be in at the end of lap 3. But wow, what a start.
Hugs is in again. Maybe another Hug special.
Is it another front wing change? It is supposed to be dry by the end of this race. It is another front wing for Hugs. Now, does the safety car let him catch up, or does it stay out longer? I suspect safety car will be in at the end of this lap, regardless whether he's at the back of the field or not.
Yeah, I expect that. I think the Red Bull are going to have to start. I think I find some more money to pay for them front wings, I don't know, with the cost cap.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Do people try and go as long on the inters for dries, or go to a 2-stop, get on fresh inters halfway through and then wait for the dry and then go to the softs or mediums, depending on how early the dry is, or do you just try and go one stop?
I would try and really one-stop it. I think the inters will go most of the race, and a reasonable portion. They might be quite worn at the end, but if you can do it on only one stop, that might be better.
But wow, that's a crash I've seen. I've seen lots of crashes in this league. That was something new. I've never seen a car in the air. So, safety car is not coming in this lap, so it is going to let Hugs catch the back of the field. He's got a bit of a free pass there for his...
Oh no, he's not hitting the wall again. I don't think he'll get another free pass.
No. But we are going to have another lap under the safety car. And hopefully Hugs can get around this one.
I hope he hasn't got to come in again.
Shoulder and Pinto into the pits. Shoulder's got front wing damage, So he's dropped massively because he got ahead of Ant. So that's a bit of a disaster. Pinto in the pits again. He's got front wing damage.
Hugs has stayed out.
Hugs is making gaps there. Look at this. Hugs up to P15 now. The comeback is on. Well, people getting a bit too eager behind the safety car here. And like I say, Pinto, he's already pitted twice, I believe, now.
Yeah, the touch the wall by Hugs seems to have just got away with that.
Yeah, so we've had Hugs and Pinto already with 2 stops under their belt. And I suspect even with that pit stop, they should catch the field up this lap. So safety car will be in the end of this lap. And it will be Chrissy who controls the restart when it does eventually happen. So we've been under safety car for the entirety of this race so far. Lost Helix, and I think Helix lost a lot of dignity with how he was violated by the other cars. I think he's been a bit too close to a few people he never expected to get that close to. But it will be interesting to see his onboard footage after the race and see what actually happened. From what we saw, I think he got spun on the inside, and then when you spin in these conditions, there's just nowhere to go, and you just become a bit of a punch bag, really, for most cars.
Yeah, there was cars on the outside and inside, and there was nowhere to go, and he just was launched into the air.
I suspect some cars are carrying damage here. Safety car is in this lap.
So Pinto will just catch up in time.
So Chrissy starts to slow it down. He's not left a lot of room here to go early because he would catch the safety car. Safety car's not in the pits yet, so he is going to be down the main straight when he does eventually send it. And with that toe, it is very hard and difficult to do it. But he's gone now. Torre has missed the boat a little bit. QHRD's massively missed the boat here, which means Jay is going to hopefully pull in on him. Not at the minute, but Torre is just about holding on to Chrissy. But QHRD's missed the start here in P3, and Chrissy has done this to perfection. We're going to turn 1. Hopefully nice and clean with everyone. We've got Aston Martin's gone wide. Seems all nice and clean so far. Everyone through nice and clean there. We've lost... I saw QHRD going up the inside there. He's coming under attack from Jay. Jay's made the pass on to him. And Jay up into P3 now. And Super Frank on the back of QHRD as well. And QHRD clipped the back of Frank then, I believed it was. And he's run on. That's going to be a yellow flag out. And QHRD is going to have to reverse back onto the track. He's going to probably have wing damage there as well. But Chrissy leaves him Torre, who is... They've created quite a bit of a gap here from Jay. And then Super Frank. I think that's who QHRD clipped the back of. Again, everyone being ultra cautious. You've got to watch what the car brakes in front. You've got to leave plenty of room and expect them to be braking early in these conditions. Super Calgon, not the place you're expecting overtake there as they enter Castle. Him and Butler very close together. And we've got damage there, Salvatore. It's just Wilco into Castle and a disaster in Castle now. Gat's gone straight on. He's managed to keep it going, but he's lost his front wing. I said that was...
These have got damage as well in this pack with Wilco.
Yeah, Super Calgon's lost his front wing. I said it was a bit too close and a bit too squeaky to go through Castle trying to... You've got to leave room there. Again, you can lose it so easy here. It's not worth the overtake. Have a slow lap stuck behind someone and live to fight another day.
I think the Mercedes and the Alpha might both have damage. Just so I get
and Gats DNF'd. It's another safety car. And what a disaster that is. Because Chrissy was 5 seconds ahead of Torre after one lap there. We've got Josh with no front wing. We've got Calgon with no front wing. And this safety car is going to have a lot more pit stops. Casper's into the pits. Shadow Realm. The artist formerly known as Ben Smith into the pits. And look at this.
12 hits the shoulder on the way in.
Hugs, of course, he has to join the pit crew. And look at this, 8th down to 15th, 16th, all in the pits.
Hugs is going for that 8 pit stop win.
And Pinto starting at the back, up into P7 now, just from missing all the melee in that race after his 2 early pit stops. Aeon up into P5 now, Liam P5. And our championship leader up into the podium positions now. And all that work Chrissy pulled out on that lap, he'll have to do it all again. Whew. Are you settled in for a late night here?
There was red flags in the game.
Yeah, I think people just being a bit too eager. To try and gain positions the first lap after the restart, and it's sometimes play the long game.
Yeah, obviously, more safety car periods means the dry weather comes a bit earlier in the race because they're slowing it down.
And that's the thing. That is the thing. This rain will eventually stop, and we will be going dry. It definitely seems to be a lot less than it was at the start of the race already.
It's definitely a lot brighter into turn 1 at the start.
Yeah.
It was mostly grey with a tiny bright patch. Now there's a lot of sunlight coming from there.
Yeah. And again, like I said, if rain was only meant to be here for 20 laps or so, with all the safety car laps, it's probably going to be about lap 15 that we're dry.
Yeah, Liam coming in, that's going to cost him because some of those I think could hit it on that before.
Yep, it is front wing change for Liam, so picks up some damage at some point. I think, just some race knowledge needs to be adhered to a bit here, and just being a bit sensible, getting your tyres into the window, survive a few laps, and then realise who you're faster than, and that's where you use that there's that massive straight, and no DRS, you can drain your battery down there, get the tow, and that's where you want to do your overtaking. But going too wide into Castle is only going to end in disaster. Even if the car in front is slower, sometimes it's worth just sitting behind them a little bit. But we will see. I don't think the back of the field is going to catch up in time for the end of this lap. So I suspect end of lap 8 we will go racing. And hopefully this time it will be without incident for quite a while.
Oh.
Oh, Josh is out.
Yeah, he's been the person in the interview, I can't remember what was Hogg
He's
said
gone. He's not even made that corner. He's gone absolutely straight on.
He's done what I did.
Look there, absolutely. He's not even made the corner.
Yeah. Well, one with 8 stops, that's where I crashed to cause one of the safety cars that helped him.
I lost it down the main straight last night, unfortunately. I did say I couldn't take it flat out, and it showed why.
I hit the in the wall on the fast access for the main straight, and then proceeded to crash there because I didn't think to come into the pits because I didn't know I had damage, and then realised, oops.
Butler changing his front wing. And hopefully this will be the last lap with the safety car. I believe the safety car limit is 3. So we should only ever have one more, regardless of what happens after this.
Yeah, it's looking a lot drier now.
We're expecting sort of 10-15 minutes. The crossover may come, so it may be about half distance. So would it be a chance of trying to see if the mediums go the whole way, or just bite the bullet and go to hards?
I would try and get on the mediums. I think if that's not when it is, I think it might be about lap 15 when the thing is, and then you can maybe just about stretch the mediums. It depends if it's a safety car, of course.
It's definitely getting easier on the rain. Like I say, blue skies on board of Chrissy there, definitely looking brighter. And we suspect safety car notification will be coming in here at the end of sector 2, as it usually does. Or is it going to let Chrissy, let QHRD and Butler safety car in this lap? They have caught up to the back, and Chrissy will be looking to try and do what he did last time. That 5 seconds he had at the end of the first lap after the safety car, completely neutralised again. Good thing is, all those underfueled, they're definitely going to be on course for having enough fuel now. Liam, 5 seconds. He's hit Pinto. Pinto, I think, has spun in that incident. Pinto's spun. He's down at the back. Chrissy's gone at the front, though. He's dropped Torre here. Pinto, disaster. Pinto's at the back. Liam's picked up a penalty for that. Not sure what happened there. But Chrissy has done this to perfection. It seems that no one's really got a run. Ben's got a run on Casper. He's made in the back. Oh, disaster! Oh, disaster! Down the main straight. Everyone watch out down the main straight. Oh, my God. Another crash there. We've lost so many cars from it.
Hugs is out. Poor Hugs.
We've lost Butler, Shadow Realm, Hugs, Calgon. All in one incident there. Ben had the run on Casper. Didn't get out of the toe. Not exactly sure what happened. He collected the back of Casper, went into a spin. Hugs went into Ben, and then there was 3 cars sprayed across the track, which then collected Calgon as well. Casper's managed to keep it going and got into the pits. But wow, our reigning champion, 2 DNFs tonight. And we are racing again, and Chrissy does have a lead up front.
There's red flags in the game. That would definitely a red flag into that.
Jay has leapt ahead of Torre here. So Jay's up into P2. Wow. We've missed the drama at the front because there has been such drama at the back. Absolutely madness. And we're down to 11 races. And I did say, if you finish in Azerbaijan, chances are you're going to get into the points. We're not even halfway through this race, and we're only 1 DNF away from everyone getting points. Now Liam pulling up onto the back of Ant. Liam, of course, has that penalty. And it's just so treacherous out there. People just not expecting people to break and just not leaving enough room if they do break a bit early, because it is so... And look there, Polly right up the back of Liam. It's not the place to go. And again, Polly massive. Liam makes contact with the wall. Polly, I think, went into the back of Liam as well. Liam's got damage here. Liam's going to have to go to the pits. It's where the Polly has damage as well. You don't go too wide when it's wet into a full speed corner like that. You just don't do it. Polly and Liam both have to send shoulder into P6. And again, race etiquette needs to be addressed here, guys. It's wet conditions. You need to be more careful.
Oh my God, guys.
And Liam, again, another front wing for Liam. He's serving the penalty as well. Polly changed his front wing. Hugs, wow, what a collision that was.
I was so pissed off. Like, my strategy was working. I don't know if you saw. I was slowly crawling up.
We'd said the 8 stops to the win. Strategy was on.
Yeah, it was.
Hugs, that's what I realised.
Jesus Christ.
Liam has gone onto the mediums.
Ooh.
Liam has made the gamble here. I don't blame him. He's got nothing to lose here. Because obviously everyone's going to have to go into the dries at some point. So why not go early, be slippy for a few laps and try and make some places up. But Aeon now in P5, shoulder pulling up to the back. And he's struggling in these conditions. Shoulder all over the back of him. But again, guys, it's just sensible when to overtake.
I've just summed up what's happened there, a clusterfuck.
Oh, and shoulder makes contact with the barrier. Again, people are so eager to get past him as soon as possible. They're just causing mistakes for themselves.
Yeah, Anton just avoided that. He nearly got collected.
Cargon sent a clip into chat to see what happened. What?
But Chrissy leads 4 seconds from Jay, who's 4 seconds from Torre. Chrissy sets the fastest lap. And we've got Aeon. He's going to have a run on shoulder down the main straight here. As we're finally nearly at half distance here. And
So guys,
to say...
what I've just seen...
So QHRD, sorry, Hugs, QHRD's got the run on Pinto here. Down into the last straight. He's up into P7. Is Pinto going to tuck him behind and come back at him into turn 1 here? QHRD up into P7. But Pinto is coming back at him. Pole is ahead of Casper now as well. And Pinto just settles in behind him. Interesting what time Liam does here.
Yeah, so I've just seen a clip from what happened. Casper brake checked.
We've got a yellow flag. We've got Pinto. Instant with Pinto and QHRD. Sorry to cut you off, Hugs. Again, this is exactly what this race has been tonight. We haven't been able to breathe. But what damage they have. Liam is definitely struggling. It's not ready for dry tyres yet, but he's playing the long game here, I think. But he is definitely struggling. Sector 2, that's Pinto that's spun again. Torre's out. That's through Castle. Torre is out. We're just going to go on board the Pinto here to see where Torre is. Beware through Castle, boys. Beware through Castle. Torre, oh my god. And Pinto's just made collision with him there. Be careful through Castle, boys. There is a spun car in Castle. It's now gone, though. But Pinto is going to... He's got a penalty for that as well. Oh.
You got to drive through speed in. That was a penalty, not for the collision, I don't think.
Right.
This is annoying. My strategy would have worked.
So we are down to 10. Like we said, if you finish in Baku, chances are you're getting points. And this plays into Liam's hands. Because the safety car's out. And the longer the safety car stays out here, the drier it's going to get. The rain's stopped.
I would come in if I was someone on the intermediates now in the safety car.
Super Frank's come in. Shoulders come in. Are they going to make the switch to dries already? Are they going to take that gamble? No. Frank's gone on to another set of intermediates.
Got 5 minutes under the safety car, so by then the track is going to be...
Shoulders gone onto mediums. Shoulders gone to the mediums.
That's a good call.
It's definitely not dry yet. Liam is struggling on those mediums, but again, under safety car. Pinto's gone on to intermediates. Let's see what QHRD is going to do. Polly's DNF'd in the pit lane, I believe.
You tell him it's... Oh my god. This is unbelievable.
You see there in the bottom right, Liam is carrying damage. But Casper's also gone to the medium, so we've got 4 people on the dries now. Chrissy still leads from J. And then Anne up into P3 now. And then we've got a gap to let the rest catch up. Because everyone behind him, except Liam, has now pitted. But the rain has stopped. That's what we can see from all these onboards. The rain has stopped and the sun is out.
Yeah, so while I have a second, I've just seen a clip from Calgon of what actually happened there. Casper brake checked Shadow, then Calgon went into Shadow, and then I went into Shoulder. I mean, Calgon, it just all went to
Now,
shit.
from our view, it didn't appear to be a brake check. It seemed that Ben had the run on him and just didn't pull out quick enough. But again, onboards will show what actually happened post-race and penalties will be issued.
This is just Calgon's, who was behind both of them. I'll send it to you on Discord so you can have a look yourself. I'm just waiting for Calgon to send it on Discord.
Just looking now at these lines to see if we are starting to get a bit of a dry line. Let's see what Liam could take. Liam's taking that in 5th. So he's nearly at full speed through there now. I think these intermediate tyre runners are going to be coming in within a few laps. It may even be worth taking the gamble behind the safety car still now.
Yeah, I think it might. Because there's still a huge gap between 4th and 5th because they're not really catching up that fast on the mediums, but the track is drying quite quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I would still... Let's see if we can quickly go on to this, because I can see the video clip. It is going to let me play it. Here we go. Let's have a look at this video clip. Why we are behind safety car. And we'll see from Calgon what actually happened here. So there's Ben behind Casper. There's the collision. Calgon, unlucky. He's got no chance of getting out of the way.
Neither did I. That was too close to Calgon at that point.
Yeah. Let's have a look here. So Ben, like you say, he's trying to pull out, collects the back of Casper, and then Calgon straight into the back of Ben. And that's where we saw your Red Bull go straight into Calgon as well, unfortunately, Hugs. So it was one of them, unfortunately. It was very frustrating, but yeah.
I'm not joking, my headset nearly got launched across the fucking room. I need Toto Wolf. No, Mikey, no. Get same treatment as Toto Wolf's headset.
Still really struggling on these mediums, shoulders and fifth. They just nearly hit the wall there, so not quite dry enough at the moment.
But again, there we go. Chrissy's pitted.
I also think it's a good call because I think it might be in at the end of this lap, but he's probably just doing quite in 4th.
But again, yeah, he's probably not going to... So Shoulder's just coming down now. Chrissy is just going into the pits now, so Shoulder's going to leapfrog him. But I don't think QHRD is going to catch up here, so I think Chrissy's going to be down. Here he comes. Chrissy's coming out. Shoulder went deep. Shoulder went deep there. Maybe got damaged, so Chrissy's kept P4 here. So Chrissy is the front on the dry runners.
On the freshest tyres as well.
And he's going to catch up to the back of the safety car by this lap as well. So maybe Chrissy has just pulled a masterpiece here.
I think they'll all catch up other than maybe the 2 Aston Martins.
Casper's switched on to the softs. Interesting.
He's a very long way behind.
Liam has come into the pits. Liam's gone back onto the inters. That's an interesting call.
Yeah.
So Liam thinking we're still quite away from it being dry. All the time, this keeps the safety car out longer, which means it's only going to get drier.
Casper tried to take almost the correct amount of speed on for a dry line into turn 1 there and only went a little bit wide. He was only a little bit slower than you would be in the dry. So I'm not sure, it's about 2 laps away from being the correct speed on the dry into turn 1, I would say.
Yeah. So you're just looking at Casper and Liam here. Casper's, I know they're not racing, but Casper seems to be in the straights pulling away, but Liam is definitely a lot quicker in the corners, so it's still intermediates, I'd say. But is it going to be 20 seconds worth when they go racing before they go to that pit window of when it does switch to the dries? But also, do the mediums go 12 laps? Safety car is in this lap, so it's not letting everyone catch up to the back, which quite frankly is correct. They've had enough time to catch up. So Jay is going to back up the pack, which will give I'd suggest QHRD and Pinto may catch up. Just about depending how much Jay may not hang about here a lot because he's noticed that there's only Chrissy and Shoulder that have caught up on the dries. So it may be a case of just going and not letting the rest catch up. Or I may not know him at all and he is backing it up a bit. I would have gone. Sacrifice maybe a position here to the intermediate tyres and worry about the dry tyres later because the dries are the ones that are in the window at the minute. Chrissy has got a great run on Super Frank here. Is he timed it just right for the start-finish line? He has. Chrissy's going to go down the outside here, but Chrissy is on the dry tyres. Has he got the grip? No, he hasn't. Chrissy wide, just misses the wall. The dry tyres are slippy as anything. Shoulders in the pits. I think he's switching back to the inters. No, he's gone on to hards. He's going to hard to the end. Liam is already past Casper because Casper's dropped massive down. It's not dry enough yet. Chrissy down to P4. So it is a matter of these intermediate tyres getting the foot down, getting a window because they're definitely still the faster tyre. But it is no longer raining, so it can't be far away from the switchover.
Yeah, they're losing a fair chunk of time on the dries, but it isn't long from the crossover period.
4 seconds Chrissy's dropped in that first sector. So if it's wet for another 3 laps, the window's gone. And we've lost, I think Pinto spun there. We had a yellow flag. It's Liam, I believe. Liam having a bit of a moment there on those inters.
QHRD looked to be going a little bit slow then.
QHRD. Oh, Casper within it's not dry enough yet. I think that's what we're discovering here. It's definitely still intermediate tyres. Chrissy 7 seconds from the leading 3. These leading 3 are going to keep that pit stop, I believe, by the time this gets dry enough to switch over. Jay's pulled out a 1.5 seconds from Ant already, who's pulling a nice little gap from Frank, and then Chrissy 9 seconds slower this lap. He's got Pinto all over the back of him now as well. Liam has bit the bullet and he's gone back onto inters and he's reaping the rewards now. It's not dry enough just yet, guys. It was a nice gamble, and QHRD is in the wall again. No traction on their mediums. And Shoulder is out on the hard tyres. First lap on the hard tyres, he's out. We shouldn't have any more safety cars. Now we've had the 3. That should be it. And Chrissy goes deep on the mediums. Pinto easily passed. Up into P4. And now Liam closing on Chrissy as well. Chrissy took the gamble, but I think he may have thrown away a race win here. We're down to 8 runners now, guys. And Casper is limping around on them softs. Frank closing on the back of Ant. At least it's easy to keep up with the action now. Let's have a look. So Pinto still has that drive-through penalty to serve as well, which very unlucky in my opinion. Sector
QHRD
1, that's QHRD. Yeah. It's not dry enough is the simple answer. You look at the bottom 3 now, all on dry tyres. Chrissy just losing time, and like I say, the front 3 now, we've got that's QHRD again, I believe. Yeah. Casper coming into the pits. He's gone back on to the Inters, which I think is the right call. Again, you've got to bite the bullet. When it's wrong, it's wrong. When it doesn't work, it doesn't work. As Jay leads, he's built up a lovely lead here, our championship leader. Played the wild card to perfection last time, and he's done his usual, stay out of trouble and reap the rewards here. He leads 3.5 seconds from Ant, who's recovered really well here from a middle of the pack start. And then Super Frank currently on the podium. Liam has got ahead of Pinto, who's serving that drive-through penalty now. So Liam up into P4 after biting the bullet and going back onto them Inters. And then Chrissy still on the mediums. Is he going to get ahead of Pinto? On this pit, he is. Chrissy just seems to be getting a bit more grip, though. It might be change over time.
Yeah. I think it's not far away now, if it isn't quite there.
No. Oh, Pinto's gone straight on there. He's got front wing damage. He's got no front wing, so he's got no front wing damage. It's a safety car. Another safety. Now, surely this is the change. Hugs, from someone who's racing here, how slippy is it out there?
Unbelievably slippy. Yeah. Most of the guys like me out there will have had no attraction at all whatsoever. I get there's some people who love the wet, can absolutely smash it, but out there it's really easy to lose it, as we've seen.
QHRD goes on to another set of Inters. Or are we just sort of settling in here that it will never be dry enough to be on dry tyres for this race?
I would say so, yes, personally.
It looks so dry down the main straight though, doesn't it, compared to the back?
Yeah, it does. I think someone might come in there.
The spray's not there anymore. It just seems to be that crossover, and Jay's in, so it may be. Chrissy may have actually recovered this really well. Aeon in. Frank's carried on. So Frank takes the lead, but Jay's coming in. What tyre is going on here? Jay in. He's going another's Inters and onto the mediums. Liam in. Now he gambled under the first safety car onto the dries and then regretted it. What's he going to do this time? But Chrissy is going to get into P4 here, I suspect. Liam, another set of Inters. Chrissy is coming in. Has Chrissy bit the bullet now and go back to the Inters possibly? So many strategies going on here. So many gambles. Let's see. No. Chrissy onto the softs. Wow. Chrissy is going all or nothing here. Stick the Drive to Survive cameras onto him. Because Chrissy is either going to win this or is DNFing. I'm calling it now. So we've got Aeon and Chrissy, the only ones on dry tyres. Pinto's coming in. Let's see. He's gone on to used Inters because he's run out of Inters. Because he has done 4 pit stops. But no penalties. They've all been served. But it's how long the safety car actually lets these guys catch up. So we've got Frank leading. Jay behind him on fresh Inters. And then catching up behind him. But you see here, Aeon on those mediums. Liam caught him and is so much faster on them Inters. And then Chrissy will be coming up behind them. But he is snaking his way around, slipping and sliding. This is going to be so tight on whether people have made the right call.
It is, because the drives are getting better towards the end there. For the safety car, they were starting to get, the performance gap was smaller.
Yeah, it seems to be... Sector 3 seems to be the driest. But then seeing that, Ant had to really ease off. Ant had to really ease off there coming through.
Sector 2 is really awful.
Let's just go on board with Chrissy. See how much. Let's see how much he can floor it through this high-speed corner. See, massively easing off there. It's not dry yet. Is it going to be dry in time for this race to finish in dry conditions? That's the question at the minute.
I think we get coming in.
Chrissy is coming in. Is Chrissy saying no thank you? Put into I don't know if the safety car is going to wait for them though. I think safety car may be in this lap.
I would have stuck with this off. It doesn't look too wet, to be honest.
He's going back to mediums. He's gone on to use mediums. He's changed his front wing as well.
Yeah, I wonder. I think
Chrissy, maybe it was best to leave the softs on there, possibly.
I think it's his wing, maybe. I think he's cut the wall.
Casper's coming. I don't think they're going to have time to catch up. I think safety car's going to come in this lap because Casper's coming into the pits again as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be in this lap. If it isn't, it benefits those on the dries because the track is getting better.
Casper's going on to the softs. I think the safety car's going to be in this lap. Let's switch to the front anyway. Super Frank leads from Jay. Frank on 7-lap old inters. Jay on fresh inters. Aeon's taken the gamble behind them. He's on the mediums. And Liam on those fresh inters behind him as well. Showing great pace on those fresh inters when he switched back. He made the gamble in the first safety car. Well, the second or the third safety car onto the dry mediums. Didn't pay off, went back onto the inters and has made great progress since then. And QHRD and Pinto trying to catch up to the back. Safety car is not coming in this lap. That surprised me. I thought it would.
I think there's a dry line starting to emerge. Very faint on some of the corners in sector 3. I just thought there was a little bit of a dry line starting to emerge.
It's definitely near the crossover.
It has to be. I think some of them might come in. I know it was a bit slow through there, but it can't be. It's like a couple of laps maximum now.
So, is Anne in prime position? Hello.
I was going to send you a clip on Discord that of the crash that I've just seen. I think it might just change our mind on everything that we have just seen. This is Ben Smith's point of view.
Oh, Jay! Collision with Frank. Has Jay just thrown away a race win here? Iggy, we've got one of your fans in the chat.
Who is it?
Whoa! And there, Liam made contact with Aeon, got away with it. Again, just simple things seem to be gone absolutely out the window in these conditions. This is definitely getting drier, though.
Yeah, it definitely is. There's definitely a dry line now.
Jay's gone wide. Aeon's gone through. Is he giving him the position back? He has given him the position back. Jay struggling on those inters all of a sudden. Unless he's got damage from that contact with Frank. But again, this league, if that penalty was unjust, we can take it off at the end. As I showed before. But so Pinto and QHRD have caught up to the back of this. Chris is still a few corners away on those mediums.
I think Casper is way too far behind.
Casper is, yeah, it's not going to wait for Casper, I don't suspect. But Chris is easy to get his foot down here. If the conditions allow him to, he's not locking up through there. It's definitely more grip, but it's not fully dry yet. It's such a gamble. I don't know which I want to be on at the minute. I'd probably want to be on the inters. But again, are you throwing away a pit stop towards the end there?
I want to be on the mediums just because I think the dry lines come in here. They're not going to lose as much time as they did before. Those in the inters now probably haven't turned no pit stop. I'll probably just stay out regardless, even if it dries.
Safety car in. So, Frank now backs it up. It's definitely drier. Lap by lap, this is getting drier.
He's not waiting for the safety car either.
Harry Bosworth getting flashbacks from his race win round Baku. Frank,
He's
foot
like,
down.
He didn't stop.
Jay, Frank went and then said no. Not sure etiquette there because Jay had the run on him there. Now he goes. Jay hasn't got the run on him as much. Aeon's been dropped by the pair of them. Aeon's missed the start. QHRD has got ahead of Pinto and Aeon's gone wide. It's not dry yet. Liam up into P3 now. Jay having a run down onto Frank into turn 3 possibly. No, thinks better of it, sits down. But Aeon's been dropped. It's not dry yet. It may look it, but it's definitely not. Looking at the times, it's just Aeon wide again. There's just not the grip out there for the dries. This is going to be finishing on inters. I don't think there's going to be a crossover.
The snow strategy did say it was going to the end. There was no way at all this is dry enough for slicks at all. I still see there like the spray coming off Frank's and Jay's car. It's still not dry enough.
We said sector 2 does seem the wettest out the whole track, and of course that's where you need the most traction with this castle. Jay's getting a nice little cut back there on Super Frank. Is he going to make the move?
I think he will, knowing Jay.
Jay's probably the most sensible one we've got on the grid, so he may wait for the start finish straight here. Look at this, he's not dumping that battery. He thought about it, then he didn't. Maybe see if Frank can make it. Look at this camera angle. Beautiful camera angles on this game sometimes. So Jay,
with Jay waiting, he's under threat from Liam, and as you see, that Aston Martin slowly creeping up behind that Williams.
Yeah, and again, he has got that 5-second penalty, but again, this league is fair. If that penalty seems unjust when the footage is reviewed, we do take it off if needs be. But at the minute, he does have that 5-second penalty. And Super Frank's got a better traction out of that line, but he is towing him along now. So Jay clawing along here to Super Frank. Is he going to be quick enough? Is he going to be close enough? Liam, the fastest lap of the race. Jay, not quite close enough there. Doesn't get the move done. And Frank leads on lap 22 here out of 26. But Chrissy, Ant and Casper all struggling. Ant's come into the pits. Is that for front wing? Or is he making the move back onto the inters? As Frank manages to hold off. But look at Jay's battery compared to Frank. Frank's dumping that ERS.
Just a little bit there for you, Harry. Anne has gone back onto the inters.
I see that. Down in P7, he's gone back onto the inters. I don't think this is ever going to have a dry line.
If Chrissy can pull some magic out.
Sector 3, Casper spun it on the softs. Good luck getting temperatures back into them again. And Jay and Liam here. Look how close it is through Castle again, guys. Just clench your butt cheeks, hold on tight, and don't make the move through there. Wait till later in the lap. There's plenty of room later in the lap. And QHRD just slowly pulling up to the back of this 3 at the front. And again, this doesn't bode well for Jay with that penalty. Because at the minute, he's dropping down to P4. I'd say maybe get past Frank. If he's got the pace, he can pull out that 5 seconds in these last few laps. Again, that exit isn't as important as this, though. How brave do you get on the accelerator here? And Jay got very brave. Jay all over the back. Jay's got the run on Frank here. Frank goes defensive on the outside. Jay into P1 here. And now as Liam going to have the run as well.
Liam's looking like he's going to make the move.
He's looking at it. It breaks late into the back of Jay. Sends Jay into Frank. Frank's got the pole. Jay's got the inside line here. Later on the brakes than Frank. Frank sent wide. Liam now gets the run on Frank as well. Liam up into P2. Frank down into P3.
Now coming up on Casper.
Is Liam going to go into Jay? Oh, incredible action up front. And QHRD is pulled right up to the back of these now as well. And we've seen how much slower the dry tyres are. Ant is only 7 seconds behind Chrissy now.
Yeah, He doesn't have the grip, and even in the first set, that's probably the better one.
Yeah, hopefully Casper gets out of the way here, because Casper's going to get lapped here. Casper's gone back onto the inters as well. Hopefully sensibly just gets out of the way of these four, all battling for the race win. Jay's pulled out a second on Liam, and he needs another 4 seconds with that penalty. Again, for me, unless DRS is enabled, you stick to the inters. Got some great racing there with the front three.
You could almost class it front four, because you've got QHRD not that far behind.
Well, no, he's pulling up to the back of Frank now, but again, that race was the front three into turn 1, 2 and 3 there.
Yeah.
But QHRD's got the run on Frank as well. Frank's just not as confident around that last corner as the others, and QHRD now goes past. Jay sets the fastest lap. He's a second ahead of Liam, who's a second and a half ahead of QHRD now. And it's all about how far can Jay get ahead with that 5-second penalty.
Oh,
Chrissy is out. Chrissy is out. Disaster.
I think he's gone off there exactly the same place where I did.
It's the kink, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A disaster for Chrissy, as I can reveal, Chrissy did play his wild card tonight.
Yeah,
So his
wild card.
His wild card equals 0 points. And just think, going back to that safety car, if he'd stayed on the inters, he was first place, and he was so quick on those inters. Remember that first safety car, he had a 5-second lead from Torre after 1 lap. And ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 7 runners with 3 laps to go.
I'm not even joking, I am crying inside.
We did say you finish Baku, you tend to be in the points.
Yeah. There was nothing I could have done there either.
Oh, I say, last night I had my head in shame. I threw away a podium. Being too eager.
I saw that. I took a nice P5 from that as well.
Yeah.
That's why
I had you behind me pulling away from you. I could have easily just eased off a few tenths a lap, but again, it's Baku. It gets the best of us. Liam a second and a half behind Jay here now. If I was Liam probably just settling in here and thinking, with that penalty, Liam's pitting.
Ooh. I think he might be pitting onto slicks then. I'll keep you updated on that.
Casper getting out of the way here. Jay now 4 seconds ahead of QHRD. Jay is nearly out of the penalty window. Casper getting out of the way of the others. I hope that was as clean as it looks on map.
Soft tyres.
But Liam has pitted onto the softs.
And so has Pinto.
The intermediate tyre runners are still seem to be doing fine though, so...
Yeah.
No, Liam disaster straight on.
Oh no, he's still got Pinto behind him. But Jay will be liking this. He is just under 5 seconds from QHRD.
You might get it even with the penalty.
And that time is still going up.
Has Liam just thrown away a podium?
I don't think it's dry enough because they seem to be doing fine on the intermediate.
And again, with 2 laps to go, it was a gamble that has not paid off. So it's given Super Frank his podium place back. Jay outside of the penalty. Pinto's got another penalty as well. That's a 5-second penalty for Pinto. He's down in P5. Can Ant catch up to the back of him there? Casper having his own little race on his own now, just looking to finish. Because again, you finish, you get points. Jay, 5.6 seconds ahead. Our championship leader played his wild card and won last time. No wild card tonight. Fastest lap of the race and starts the final lap. And if he keeps this gap, it doesn't matter about the penalty, whether it was deserved or not. He's won this race, even with the penalty. So QHRD has to keep him honest here. If QHRD pushes enough, And if I was Super Frank, I'd just settle in for a nice P3 here now. QHRD, Sector 1 is caught. 2/10 up in Sector 1. This is going to be so tight. Who would have thought a 5-second gap could be such a good race? But here we are.
Oh no, it's QHD spawn.
QHRD spun it. He's just given Super Frank through to P2. Frank into P2. Jay's got this win. Now, if he just keeps it on track.
Says Pinto's left the session.
His car's still running. Aeon now. He's only 4.5 seconds behind Pinto on those soft tyres. And Pinto's got the 5 seconds, so Aeon's going to be up into P5 here. But on track, can he actually catch up? QHRD trying to recover. He's only a second behind Frank now. So he goes into Castle.
There was a little update with the leagues last night. If someone ahead of you is AI across the finish line, you get their spot. Or you go up one and they get dropped to the lowest. And they
Well, the only person that's going to be near him is Aeon, and obviously with that penalty he's going to leap him, and I don't think Casper can claim that being a lap down.
No, Casper will still claim that because Pinto is AI, so he'll just get dropped to the bottom.
Is he actually AI in the session?
That's what I'm guessing so, because it just said he's left
So,
the session now. So
Jay is coming down the final straight to take back-to-back victories. The championship leader extends his lead. Jay finishing, and QHRD is not going to catch Frank. Frank with a superb P2. QHRD comes across in P3. And Liam, what a race by Liam here. Full of drama. He's got no front wing again. He's tried them softs numerous times. He's had 5 pit stops. Casper on 7 pit stops will take the record for the most pit stops. But Liam will cross the line here in P4. Aeon's on the verge of catching Pinto on track here, which just shows that it was never dry enough here for dry tyres. But he is going to leap across Pinto. Is he going to catch? I don't think he's going to catch him on track. He's not. He's run out of battery already. But with that penalty, he leaps across. Wow. Isaac, thoughts on the first Red Arrows race?
Yeah, no, it was really good. It was a bit of a chaotic one, and in the last at Baku, we thought it would be, and there was that massive pile up, and obviously a lot of other DNFs, but it was a really good one.
That was an unbelievable pile-up. Just looking at this race result as well, from if I didn't get caught up in that pile-up, the points I was looking at was unbelievable.
It was dramatic, to say the least. But Jay takes back-to-back victories. Chrissy, the only wildcard play tonight, was leading at the end of the first safety car, but ended up DNFing. So that wildcard has gone for him. Ant picks up the fastest lap on those inters. And wow. Isaac, we need 3 nominations here for Driver of the Day to go into the driver's vote here. So your 3 picks for nominations.
Jay. Chrissy. And Super Frank for getting that great second place.
Not shoulder for his win in the sprint.
That is true. Okay, I'm sorry, Chrissy. I felt bad for him after his wild card. I'll put him in instead then over Chrissy. So the top
So we've got
2 on the
Jay,
left.
Frank, and Chrissy as Driver of the Days.
Personally, what I would go for there is Super Franks, QHRD. Actually, not QHRD. I'll have to have a look at the results again to get back on that. But Pinto is in there because if you look on it, he brought that back from 16th.
He started at the back because he DNF'd in the sprint.
Back, yeah.
Again, it's Driver of the Day for the sprint and the feature combined, though. So,
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, the winner of the sprint.
but wow. Should we try and get our race winner in here?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's see.
I'll leave you to do it then, Tim. You 2 guys, the commentary for tonight. I'm just in here for the fun of it.
So thanks for joining us, Hugs. And again, that was really unlucky. Again, no way we could actually avoid that, but unlucky. But we are joined now. It's getting a bit of a habit, this, isn't it, Jay?
Evening, guys. Not many words for that. Yeah, crazy race. Did not expect to be there.
It's not a bad habit to get this, though. Missing the drama and winning the race. But
Yeah, I mean that's all you can hope for on this track because it's a chaotic circuit most of the time. I think it was 7th finish in the end.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts on that? Because obviously you got that 5-second penalty behind the safety car.
I'd have been straight in the stewards room to get that removed. To be honest,
We did.
The lightest little tap.
We did suggest that. We did suggest that in in commentary that we thought.
It didn't pack up any damage.
But again, when it's something like that, we don't need to worry about it because, like you say, you pulled out that spot. QHRD give you a favour there, spinning on the last lap. Thoughts on the race? Because a lot of people there making strategy calls or going on to dries. Was it ever dry enough to even consider it?
I don't think it ever was dry enough. I had the radio call to say it's drying up and to say we think it's going to be dry shortly on one of the safety cars. But I thought you need to race the conditions you're on at the moment. To be honest, I was trying to bluff some people into the medium tyre change when I did my stop. So I figured I was only going to drop maybe 1 or 2 places maximum. And I had to get the pit stop out of the way because obviously it's a mandatory stop. Mm-hmm. So I just pitted for another set of inters just under safety car because I could. Because it was a situation where I wasn't going to lose many places. Just get the stop out of the way and hopefully be in the mix still on the restart.
Interesting. No, again, it seemed to be a lot of people gambling, and like we said, that first safety car, you were dropping, I think, Chrissy 10 seconds a lap. I think he was slower. So it was never dry enough, it seemed, from a commentary point of view. But we had Hugs in there because the incident that ended his race was super unfortunate, and he said it was treacherous out there and absolutely chaotic. But no, you managed to miss all the incidents again. Again, another habit that you seem to be managing. Did you get a view of the turn 1 incident with Helix?
Remind me, sorry, that was a long race.
When Helix his car was up in the air at one point.
Was that the turn 1?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was there to see that or not. I think I might have got ahead of him. I want to say I got ahead.
Yeah.
Before that happened. So I'm not sure if I was anything to do with that or not. I think I did look back and see something because it was immediate safety car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was up one place. I think I was
safety car before
P4.
Before turn 3, there was a safety car.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can catch it from your view, but there is, in the latest patch, there's a nasty bump at turn 3 and it keeps catching me out a lot. I'm not sure it affects other people's races, but having to consciously think to avoid that bump every lap was, took real concentration.
But you did it. You picked up another race win, and you extended that lead at the top of the championship in your determination to get that crown that you, shall we say, controversially didn't get last season. So another great comeback and another great victory.
Yeah, certainly, as I said, last season was, it's gone now. It's but we go again, and hopefully we'll take this one.
And again, Ben with the double DNF tonight as well. So does he still consider him your strongest rival, or looking at the standings, Ant still there or thereabouts, and still has that wild card to play?
Now, I'd still say he's a strong rival, but at the moment, I think the top rival's got to be Ant with how he's doing. But I'd never rule Ben out of being a rival because we know he's capable of.
Mm-hmm. Cool, right. We'll let you go and celebrate with the cup of tea in bed routine.
I think it's going to be, I'm going to push the bar, it's going to be a beer tonight.
But no, great racing again, and well done.
Catch you guys later.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Well done.
So, Isaac, your first Red Arrows League race done.
Yep.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that dramatic race?
Yeah, very dramatic, very chaotic. It was a really good one. Especially they called it right in the disc. It was a wet race, and and they delivered. I thought it might dry up at the end, but it didn't, unfortunately, for those that petted. And yeah, so I thought some good racing.
It just shows no matter what it looks like, if you're not in that driver's seat, you just don't have the same view that everyone else does. But no, thank you for joining me tonight. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, no, it was a really good one. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. And don't forget, guys, if you're not followed the channel, subscribe to the channel, drop us a thumbs up on the video, and hopefully we'll see you next Monday for another race round 5 it will be. And just give me 2 seconds because I'm completely prepared with the race calendar to tell you next week we are going to the streets of Miami. So the new addition to this game, new track on the calendar, and I'm sure a lot more front wings, a lot more drama, and who knows whatever else they throw at us. But thank you for joining us tonight, and from me and Isaac, that is good night and take care.